Hello, how are you? I hope that you are doing excellent. And well, today I have a lesson that I hope that you enjoy. Sometimes we are confused by those words that have different meanings, that sometimes are verbs. And sometimes they act as an adjective or as a noun, and we're not sure exactly what the person means. Okay, so let's take a look. And actually, the first word that I want to share with you is the word mean. Precisely the word mean. Mean as a verb. When mean acts as a verb, it's to represent or have as a definite explanation or idea. So let's see an example in a sentence. What does the word mean? So when you don't understand what is a word, or the meaning of a word, you say, what does that word means? uh, what does the word represent? The word, for example, the word wealthy means a person with a lot of money. So for example, if you don't know the meaning, or if you know what is wealthy, you can ask, what is the meaning of the word wealthy, or what does wealthy means? So the person will say, okay, means, sorry, wealthy means a person with a lot of money, a person that does not a person that does not have to worry about financial problems. So that's one for you. What do you mean? That's very common, okay? For sometimes we are explaining something, and the person that we're talking to does not understand what we're trying to say. Not because they don't understand the language, but probably the way that we are speaking is not clear. Okay, so probably we didn't put in order our ideas, and the person does not understand. So in that case, the person may ask you, what do you mean? The person, by asking that, is trying to ask you, what are you trying to say? Or can you explain more what you're trying to say? If the person asks you, what do you mean? Okay, try to ask that in a polite tone, so the person does not get offended. Like, what do you mean? Or what are you trying to say? Okay, it could be a way. Mean as a verb. Second definition, as a verb. Indication of something. For example, those gray clouds mean rain. Okay, those gray clouds mean rain. Okay, when you see a gray cloud, you know that that indicates that the rain is coming, or probably it is going to rain. So those gray clouds mean rain. Another, a red light outside the studio means somebody is recording. We should not enter. Okay, so the red light outside a studio, it could be in a radio station, or a recording, just a regular recording studio, may mean that somebody is there doing a recording, and we should not enter, or be very quiet, silence. So that's an indication of something. Next, mean as an adjective. Sometimes the word mean could be an adjective. The first definition is unkind, bad person, or thing. And I believe that there is a famous TV show called Mean Girls that tells you the whole idea of what is mean as an adjective, or one of the meanings of mean as an adjective. It was a mean joke. That means that it was a cruel joke, or it was a joke that wasn't pleasant. Laura used to be a mean girl. That they are trying to say that she was a bad girl, or not a very kind person. Hmm, Mean as an adjective, second meaning of mean as an adjective, or second definition of mean as an adjective, something that is low rank, inferior, or poor quality. We can use to describe something that is poor quality, inferior, or low rank. That was a mean imitation of Michael Jackson. What they are trying to say by using the word or here mean imitation, this imitation was inferior or bad quality. It was a bad quality imitation of Michael Jackson. Probably the person did not dance like the real Michael Jackson, or probably the way that the person dressed was not like the real Michael Jackson. It was too low quality. You can say it was mean. Also, for example, for art, paintings, you can say that is a mean painting. And if you paint, you don't want anybody to describe your art with that word, because that means it's a low rank, and it's not a good quality piece of art. The service we received was mean. I didn't leave a tip for the waiter. He didn't deserve it at all. So this has to say that the service that we received, it was bad. It was a low quality um, service that I didn't even feel like leaving a tip for the waiter. Next, we are going to see the word cash. Cash as a noun. And this is very simple. It's just the money that we use every single day, like bills, coins, that is cash, ready money. I have enough cash. I don't need to use my card for this purchase. That means that I have dollars, and I can pay for this with my cash. I don't need to use the card. Very simple to understand. And then we have the word cash, or the verb cash, or to cash. When it's a verb, it's to obtain cash for. The most common example is when if you work and your employer pays you with a check, you have to go to the bank and cash your check. I need to cash my check first. So that means that you have to go to the bank first and exchange the paper check for money, for bills, or coins, etc. Now let's see another word that it's very confusing for beginners. That is the word ride. The word ride, when it's a verb, it means to sit and travel in the back of an animal that one directs. That means that you are directing the animal, the horse. For example, I love to ride horse, or I love horse riding. You can express it that way. I love horse riding. That means that you love to direct horses. Also means to travel on. A second definition as a verb is to travel on. I will ride my bike to school. That means that you will use your bike as a transportation, as a mean of transportation. Actually, that's another meaning of the word mean, a way to transport, means of transportation. I will ride my bike to school. So that means that you will use your you will use your bike to go to school. You can ride the bus. It's cheaper than a taxi. You can ride the bus. It's cheaper than the taxi. So that means that you can travel on the bus because it's less expensive than the taxi. And the expression give a ride. Give a ride is a common expression to ask someone if he or she can take you to a place or closer to your destination. So, can you give me a ride home? I left my bus pass at home. So that means that, well, you don't have your bus pass. In my case, that we have the card. to use the bus or the subway, then if we don't have that, we cannot use the bus. So can you give me a ride home? Can you take me home? So, and obviously that means by saying right, that means that you are not going to charge me. I am trying you to take me home for free, okay? Because I don't have a way to pay you either, probably. Okay, so can you give me a ride to the mall? It's on. Sorry, I can give you a ride to the mall. It's on my way to home. So that means I can take you for free to the mall because it's on my way to home. I can take your ride to the bus stop. It's better than walking. I can take your ride to the bus stop. It's better than walking. So if a friend or a coworker offers you to take you to in his or her car to the bus stop, I mean, probably he cannot take you to your home or to the place that you are going. But hey, I can ride you to this bus stop. You can say I can take your ride. That means I will accept your offer of taking me closer to my destination. So I hope that this lesson has been useful for you and that you can practice them a lot, because remember that by practicing every day is that you will get to the point where you want to get the fluency that you want. Bye bye.